Both of you. Quiet on set. All right. Well, podcast number 4. Welcome to Real Locker Room Talk with Mitch and Dimitri. What a crazy week. I am absolutely excited to be back at Alchemy Studios. This is fun. This is exciting. Dimitri, how was your week?
My week was very non-eventful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just nothing real smooth, a nice low-key Thanksgiving, and that's about it, Mitch.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sure we were together on the weekend, and everything but all that stuff you said
I
actually
actually
happened.
don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
I don't remember.
You remember last week you said Wayne's World? let me go back and tell you what happened on the weekend. You and myself said, hey, since we got some studio time now, let's sit down and get a little bit of a better format going on.
That's right.
And we met up at a good buddy of ours, Partners Bar and Grill over in, 61st Avenue in the southeast part of Calgary.
That's right. Yep.
We met up to what we thought we were going to do was sit down and do some, good scheduling of what we want to accomplish in this and
Absolutely.
all that going forward. What happened was our good friend and owner of the pub was there as well.
I think I'm starting to remember kind of what happened.
Well, let's just say that that things went off track, and it's a good thing that we have a lot of designated drivers in this city. Thank you very much.
Man. It was off the handle.
It
Mitch.
was literally off the handle.
It was too much. Like at one point, I didn't realize where this oasis of beverages was coming from, over and over. And then I saw what happened. I caught him. He was doing like a little hand twirl.
He did the hand twirl?
He was secretly hand twirling his waitress for more rounds.
I thought he was doing the Ric Flair where he was going to put somebody in the figure 4.
Is out? Oh, buddy, good call. Good
Thanks.
call. Probably the way that his staff treats him sometimes, he'd probably want a figure 4, like a lot of them.
Absolutely. Well, we want to say thanks to Pete. That was an awesome night. I was sick for a few days after that, but however, I think we got what we wanted to get accomplished, but it was an awesome event, and it was an event.
Yeah, well,
it ended up being somehow an event.
Do you know what happened to me when I got home? I'm an idiot, by the way.
What happened?
Yeah, okay, so I did the mistake that pretty much every drunk guy does when he comes home.
You invited him in, didn't you?
Yes, that was number 1. How did you know that? I guess it's ever. So I invite him in for one more. Of course, I had a couple more, and then he leaves, and then I made the other mistake that every drunk guy does when he comes home. I figured I could score with my wife. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm drunk. It's go time. I'm like, baby, we're going to make another one. Why don't you get upstairs and get ready? Who do I think I am? That was the worst
My
thing
favorite
ever.
part is how you didn't remember anything, and all of a sudden you remember getting shut down by your wife. That's my favorite part of the thing.
Well, I just remember the important things that hit my ego.
Do you know who's not getting shut down?
I think I have a feeling.
Zach, our sound guy, is not getting shut down. This guy has rearranged our metrics from what I saw last week.
Dude, Zach has been so huge that we might actually have to hire him full time. And then and then they're gonna be out of a worker over here. He's a sensation. My mother-in-law was asking about Zach.
What'd you say?
Well, she was like, "Who is this Zach guy?" He was like the most exciting thing of your podcast last week. I'm like, "Did you listen to the other 52 and a half minutes of it?" It doesn't matter. I want more Zach.
Yeah. Way more Zach. More cowbell, more Zach is really what it comes down
Zach,
to.
we're hashtagging him cowbell.
You know what?
But I have a question for Zach. Sorry to cut you off. I want to know now because Zach is in the music, right? In the production, in the back end. Mm-hmm. I want to know if Zach has gotten laid, like the rest of the band members do. And has he ever lied and said he's part of the band? I want to know, Zach, legitimately. Have you ever pretended to be part of the band?
I am in a band.
Oh,
so
that's why he's scoring so much action.
Threesomes. Yeah. Not only is he in the band, he makes the band. Okay, needed to know.
Makes all the sense in the world. And he's from Edmonton, so he can say he's from out of town, quote unquote, right?
That's true.
Honey, I'm only here for a couple of weeks. Just show me around. And the next thing you know, boom.
What a life Zach has.
And now you can even throw in the, hey, honey, I'm helping these guys do their podcast. I mean, tell the people the metrics. This is
okay. So every week we're reporting the metrics. We attribute a lot of it to Zach for sure, but I just want to tell you, Mitch, what's happening. So we went, I would say, public and live last week for really the first time. I mean, a couple of our friends knew. Do you want to know what our Facebook following is at right now?
I'm curious.
If you were to say 85, you would be correct.
85?
Absolutely.
It's huge.
Instagram, we went from 13 last week.
I remember that
to
number.
52 followers.
What?
52. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And for those that didn't think, or that Zach is like 100 people, he's only one. He's only one of the extra people.
He can only be one guy. We have no fake accounts. We even got a cowbell. Oh my God, these guys working fast. Yeah. So our Twitter following, since we had 0 when we started the page, we're at 10 followers. That is a 1,000% increase from where we started. Now, the thing is, though, I got to get these numbers up, but I'm not sure how. The Twitter, I'm still trying to learn the game because you can't invite people like you can in the other social media. So fans and listeners out there, any suggestions you have to help us grow our Twitter following, please do. Of course, to know, you can follow us. It's at Real Locker Room Talk.
At Real Locker Room Talk.
That's right. That's on our Twitter, Instagram, and of course our Facebook page as well. I want to note something here. I saved the best for last.
Please.
Podbean. So Podbean is what we use, obviously, to put the podcast on.
Yep.
Zach, who is an official follower there as well.
This guy into everything.
He's everywhere, okay? That's why we plug him. We love this guy. But the thing about Podbean is it actually has, for the business accounts, it actually has a detailed schematic or metrics. Sorry. Yeah. So I was looking at the detailed metrics, Mitch, and listen to this.
Okay.
We are, with our 4 followers and 46 downloads.
46, but 4 people.
It will, because some people don't follow the official page, okay, so they'll just download it.
Thank you for explaining.
They might do, they'll do the link from Facebook or our other channels. Gotcha, yeah. We are officially downloaded in 3 countries around the world.
What?
3 countries.
Well, Canada.
Canada, number 1.
Okay.
Cyprus, number 2. Now, we have a friend in Cyprus.
Okay, fair enough. Okay? Fair enough. We didn't need to say that, but go on. Yeah.
Well, we got to be honest.
Fair enough.
We have to be honest.
That is your card. Go on.
Yeah, well, not really, but Italy. I don't know anyone in Italy. We have a download in Italy.
Let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
There's a guy or a woman in Italy that's fooling around on Podbean. They click on sports. They're perusing through. They find us. They listen to us. Not just listen. They said, I'm going to download these guys.
They downloaded it.
They downloaded.
Yeah.
So to that paisan out there right now.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, it's a pretty incredible feat, and we're global, right? We're officially a global phenomenon.
You are absolutely correct. We are officially global. That is right.
So we have an obligation.
That is big.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into something as well, because something's come to my attention, Mitch.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get right into the sports here. For any of those who would listen to our archives, which we will be posting on our podcast channel very shortly,
right?
We had a debate. Now, there are 2 people out there. There is John from John and Kate plus 8.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And we had pitted him against my cousin Pete.
Right.
Now, the comparison was because my cousin Pete has 5 children, 2 sets of twins, 1 daughter. Okay. And I believe that he only did it 3 times.
I agree with you.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I can't confirm that.
Well, I mean, our speculation is confirmation enough.
Basically.
So, you posed the question and you said, who would you rather have on your team? And so we had debated. Did you get John, who shoots for 1 time and then pops 8 goals out?
Right.
Or do you go with Pete, who shoots 3 times and only pops 5 goals
right.
out? And who would be better?
Right.
And it has come to my attention that our debate is useless, because I found out that John from John and Kate plus 8 has been using PEDs. Penis-enhancing drugs.
Oh,
he
boy.
had his kids in vitro, and my cousin Pete did not.
Now, I'm gonna actually play devil's advocate here for 1 quick second. I totally respect and understand that Pete, 3 shots, 5 goals, got it. John plus 8, 1 shot, 8 goals, right?
Right.
But if it's not in the rule book that you're not allowed, that you shouldn't be using the PEDs, then I say John plus 8 is still.
So you're saying that I think we got to look into that then. So I get what you're saying. You're saying there's no official rule.
There was no official rule.
So Pete could have very well done it. Probably had 14 at his pace.
You never know. And you never know. And it kind of goes into that. Maybe that should be our poll question this week. Somehow we should work it in there. We'll figure it out.
No, absolutely.
But I appreciate you bringing that up. But I mean, if you want to put it into our sports analogies a little bit, is a guy like Barry Bonds, a guy like just using baseball because they seem to be the heavy guys on this whole thing. A guy like Barry Bonds is not going to make they don't think he's going to be in the Major League Hall of Fame. A guy like Roger Clemens is not going to be because they've been pegged as guys that use PEDs.
Right.
But if it's not in the rule book, and I've been saying this for years, to be quite honest with you, if it's not in the rule book and everyone is doing it, why should they be kind of thrown under the bus for their body responding better to it and using it in a better way?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know what? I agree with that. And it kind of goes, I think about that with Lance Armstrong as well, really quick, right? Because when I listened to not just Lance Armstrong, but the guy who sold him out, his one teammate, he said that at that time, during all those Tour de France championships, the top 20 winners, 18 of them confirmed, for sure, were taking and doing the same thing with the transferring of the blood and the oxygen. So my thing was, well, all things being equal, then he probably would have won anyways.
Exactly.
So I know people might think I'm crazy, but I think Barry Bonds and Clemens should go in because they were the best of the cheaters. Everyone was doing it at that time.
You know what I say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
No, and if you're not trying, then just quit.
That's right.
Barry Bonds didn't.
Exactly. And I don't know, going to that part of it, I mean, if you're going to use Lance Armstrong, here's a gentleman that how many types of cancer did this poor guy go through? And on top of it, he's racing the best of the best and putting all that drugs into his body, and he's still winning. And no one wants to give this guy some accolades.
Yeah, what about his cameo role in Dodgeball?
Probably one of the best cinematic, walk-in, quick little
that's right
acting display I've ever seen.
Had it not been for him, Peter Lafleur would not have won the Dodgeball championships.
Does anyone talk about that?
Nobody does. They just want to talk about the drugs, Mitch.
Exactly.
Just about the drugs.
It really bothers me. I want to see what will happen is me and you start taking performance-enhancing drugs. Would this podcast get better?
Oh, man, that's actually a really good point. I tell you what, we'd have a little bit better bodies, that's for sure. Because, me and you aren't exactly beach-worthy yet.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
No, I'll speak for both of us.
You know what? I think that's the new poll question. We take our shirts off and we let the audience decide.
Yeah, let the market know.
I'm going to shave down, though, first. You have to let me shave down.
We're Greek. We have to shave down. Otherwise, it'll be like Chewbacca or the lead Ewok. Who wins?
Well, that takes us into topic number one. Let's talk a little bit about the NHL. It just started up last week. I watched the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. I watched a little bit of that Toronto Maple Leafs season opener, and I have to admit, I was really impressed with the start of the NHL season. It seems like a lot of goal scoring. Ovechkin had decided that he wants to break some sort of record going forward. But what did you think? Give me your thoughts on this week's.
Yeah, I really liked the way the week started. It was almost as if the people that had lackluster seasons this season before just came in to make a big impact. I'll start, like you say, Ovechkin, 7 goals in 2 games. Unbelievable. Then you have even the Chicago Blackhawks. They get, blanked out in last year's first round of the playoffs. And they come and they have just a, good start off the gates, right? Patrick Kane looked like he has been playing all season long. That guy is something else with the puck. But you look at what was great on a marketing standpoint for the NHL was that all the top stars and all the top stories were making headlines. You have in Canada, the Toronto Maple Leafs haven't lost a game yet. Connor McDavid, you just said you saw that game against the Flames. Holy crap. Did you see that goal he scored?
Unbelievable. I'm not the biggest hockey aficionado, is that how you say the word?
I think so,
aficionado.
Yeah. It is
in the entire world. But I'll be honest with you, watching that guy play against Calgary, I'm cheering Calgary, obviously, but you can't help. And even though it's Edmonton, and I don't want to cheer for Edmonton, you can't help but cheer for that guy. That guy, his speed alone is just unbelievable. Everyone keeps talking about how his foot speed is something else. how about just how strong he is and how just he seems so fluid. Like this dude, when he blasted through the whole team.
Oh my God.
I saw an interview with one of the players from the Oilers after, and he said the only guy he didn't beat was their own goalie. He beat all the other players on the Edmonton Oilers to get to the puck, and obviously the Calgary Flames, and scored.
And Brody's a good skater.
And he's a great skater.
He's a great skater on defense, and he made him, who was it that said, he made him look silly? He did make him look silly. Brody had strides on him from the neutral zone that he was able to box him out. Like he had, I think, like almost 15 feet. He couldn't do it. McDavid just barrels down with a rolling puck and pots it in. I mean, and hat trick to start it off to boot. That was excellent.
That was
excellent.
Great. Excellent. But to Brody's little defense, I don't think it mattered who it was.
I don't think so
honest
either.
That speed that I saw, it could have been anybody. It was unbelievable to see, and it's great. And, going back to what you said about Ovechkin, 3 goals in game 1, 4 goals in game 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I don't know if the NHL said or called all their superstars. If maybe Bettman got on the phone and said, hey, Ovechkin, it's Bettman here. Listen, I need you guys to just, do something. I need you guys to ramp it up. And they all decide because what are the chances all your superstars in the league are doing what they're doing? It's one thing if Joe Blow over here had a great game, but it's your superstars, the guys that carry this league that are doing what, really at the end of the day, what they're paid to do, and they're crushing it.
Yeah. And another thing too, is if you look, even the Las Vegas Golden Knights, they won their first 2 games. They're causing a buzz before they even get into their building. So it's just been such a good start around the entire league. But I'll tell you who hasn't had such a good start, Mitch.
Who's that?
Your dark horse Winnipeg Jets. Wow, were you right now? It makes me happy because our listeners think you are an idiot, and they're starting to see my point. Now, I wish that we had enough money, right, that we could actually have a little bit more, equipment in here, and I could just replay like on command,
right,
like most respectable shows can do, and just replay your dark horse comments again. The Winnipeg Jets let in 7 goals in their first game,
right,
6 goals in their second game. I mean, I don't know where you came up with it, but we'll see how it pans out. You never ever know. But it brings me to an interesting poll question I have.
May I just quickly to rebuttal?
I try to go through without you having to say a word.
Well, I need to rebuttal quickly. First off, this podcast is being played. Yes, they've lost the first 2 games with 7 goals allowed and 6 goals.
Right.
However, yesterday they beat the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, so I left the one win out. Sorry.
But they looked great. And you know what? Remember, it's only 3 games into the season, man. There's 82 games in the season. We got lots of time. My boys in Winnipeg are going to pull this off. There's no problem. We're just, I said it in the last podcast. Winnipeg's a big team. They're big. They're not, their stride isn't there yet. They're a little tired. Wait until they get themselves up and going, and we'll have this discussion again next week and the week after. And my Jets are going to make a run. You will see. You will see.
I'll see if I'll eat my words. I will pay close attention to this, during the season. And I can't believe, the Winnipeg Jets have done it. Hey, they've made it. So that we talk about them almost on a regular basis. We have to really reevaluate that.
Yeah,
it is the Jets.
It is weird that we're bringing them up quite often. Yeah,
but I just want to bring this up because all I could think about was a potential poll question thrown out, and on the topic of letting everything in.
Right.
If you were the Winnipeg Jets. And you had to pick a porn star to be your goaltender.
Okay.
In lieu of who you have.
You've got my attention. Hold on a second. Go ahead.
Now, who do you pick? Do you go with someone like Nina Hartley, someone who's experienced, knows that we know she can work well in a group or team setting, someone who's been to the dance before?
Right.
Or do you go with someone like I'll keep it Canadian and like an August Ames, a young up-and-comer who is still trying to prove themselves, but is still, very much a respectable player in the league?
There's a few things that are going through my mind right now as you bring up this question. These are not strippers, Zach. These are actual porn stars that somehow Dimitri is very affiliated with and knows a little too much about the fact that you know that, what's her name? August Ames is from Canada.
Don't even do that. I found it in your search history, Mitch.
I can't believe you know that this, do you know where she lives? Like, do you know what high school she went to as well? Or
I refuse to answer anything further regarding this matter.
Since you brought it up, and I'm a gentleman and I want to answer your question correctly, last week or the week before, was it last week? Last week we talked a little bit about loyalty. Okay,
right.
I think the goalie position is one where you go with veterans. I'm not a big fan of going with the new and the flashy and the exciting. I think when you're talking about goalies, and I think about what you want to backstop, I would go with Nina all day.
So you're saying that Nina is a better backstopper?
I think so. I think Nina's a little slower on the reflexes, but I think Nina, at the end of the day, I can trust her, and I know that she's going to back everything I want up. She's going to take care of the business.
She'll take care of the business. That you have no problems doing. See, I had first thought, as you did, and then I took into consideration that although as you so eloquently put last week, the veteranism, right? Is that the word that you used?
Yeah. I checked that up. It doesn't exist.
No, I didn't need to check that up. I know it doesn't exist.
I needed to. You know what? The word selfie now is in Webster's dictionary. I don't know what's going on in this world. I needed to check it just in case.
Fair enough.
I'm sure I heard it somewhere.
I would go with August Ames. I'd go with the up-and-comer. And it all boils down, don't look at me like I'm weird. I have a legitimate reason for this.
Listening.
It just comes down to actually what you said, and it's reflexes. Do I think that she has the same skill set? She has yet to prove, that she can, handle all the moves. Mm-hmm. But I think it comes down to reflexes and timing. And I think if I was building a franchise right now, I'd want to go with a little more longevity. I think she'd stay in the game a little bit longer.
I see where you're going with it. I respect where you're coming. You're making me rethink it. But no, I'm going to stay with Nina.
Well, why don't we let the market decide? Why don't we let our fans decide?
That's a great.
I'll tell you what, because our fans decided on something that we threw out last week. Now, for all of you that were following Instagram, and if you don't, make sure you follow it at Real Locker Room Talk. We put the poll out. So what the poll was in the question, remember, it was Jackson 5
That's right.
versus
yes,
NSYNC.
Absolutely.
So I went ahead and posted that up.
No brainer.
No brainer, hey?
No brainer.
No brainer. Well, I hid the results from you,
yes,
so I can bring them up right now. And just
amongst
so you know,
other things that you did in this podcast.
67% of our faithful sided. We don't have a drum roll, do we? Yeah. Give me a little of that. Attaboy, Jeff. NSYNC. NSYNC.
They think that Justin Timberlake would have been he would have had a better and much more career even if he didn't have NSYNC in his back pocket.
Over Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. Absolutely. People voted for NSYNC.
Oh, my God. You know what I'm happy about? Listen, the number, my dad taught me a long time ago, numbers don't lie. If 67% of our loyal listeners voted on it, I respect it. I have to live with it. The fact that you're going to bring in this new question about the which goalie would you rather have, which porn star would you rather have? I'm glad we're going with a new market base because the current one obviously doesn't know anything about music. It's time to bring somebody else new into this format.
Or maybe they know more than we know. Now, here's something actually I got to give you a little bit of credit on this.
Are you for real? Like seriously, 67%?
Absolutely. 67% chose NSYNC over the Jackson 5. I told you. I tried to tell you.
Well, tell me what? That our loyal listeners prefer Justin Timberlake over Michael Jackson? I told you that last week,
and then we had to put it to a poll.
I can't believe
you're off your rocker, Mitch.
You know what? One day this is going to be, you're right, an archive of some kind. Somebody's going to listen to this and lose their mind.
Well, not
67% of our listeners.
Only 33% will lose their minds. That's it. Now, one thing I'll give you credit for is that we talked, and the debate was who would Zach follow.
Right.
And I said, for me, I said Zach would follow NSYNC because Zach works in production, right. Music editing. They're a highly produced band. And you said the Jackson 5. Well, Zach, because I went into the metrics, chose. Do you want to? Can we get another one? Can we get one more drum roll? Yeah, we're making them run across the room. Jackson 5.
Finally, a man with some notion. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, my friend. The guy gets it. Yeah. Well done, Zach.
I was a little surprised.
I know we're in the minority, buddy, but bottom line.
Yeah. Well done, Zach. Fuck you, Zach. We talk too much about you anyways.
Buddy, my goal is I want every week that we come in, I want Zach to tell us about what happened on the weekend and like how he just.
You know what? He's not getting anything until he starts sharing. I want Zach. How many people have gotten to follow our stuff right now? It's okay. It's week one. 200 to 300. Huge. And they're all women that have been on Zach's D.
They love the Zach D. They love the Zach D.
Not only am I in the band, I am the band. Hashtag Zach Alchemy. Okay.
Zach, don't make them mad. Don't keep them happy, Zach. Keep them happy, buddy.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, you know what? To finalize NHL, because I just want to get. But how did you like week one of the NHL? Did you think? Are you excited about it? What do you think? I know the superstars are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, no offense, man? You know, you want to call them my Winnipeg Jets? I believe the Blackhawks beat the Penguins. Or maybe that was a baseball score like you had alluded to. 10-1? To be the champ, you got to beat the champ? Woo! They got beat, bro. And so what my question is, are you seeing a change in the NHL? Are you seeing that there's a difference in, I don't know what you want to call it, Are you seeing a difference? Are you seeing people don't want to see Pittsburgh three-peat? Are you seeing that Pittsburgh's a little tired? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so, for all those that are, that know or come to know, I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, right? And the only people that really want to see Pittsburgh three-peat, in my opinion, are Pittsburgh Penguins fans.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think I think a lot of people last year maybe wanted to see the double just because, it hasn't been done for a while. They have exciting players, but I think now people do want to move on. However, the NHL is built that way. The parity in the National Hockey League is much better than any other sport, in my opinion, right? Like in the West, I actually don't know, if you really go down, like everyone is a potential contender. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. I do like what's happening in the league. It's causing excitement. The new up and coming stars are stars, right? And everyone's just competing, Mitch. It's, I think they're hitting a home run. Yeah. I really do. I really like what's happening.
I do as well. I think that we're seeing the young stars do exactly that, become stars. I see that Crosby's still there, no matter what that score was. Pittsburgh's still going to be in the running. They're not going to go anywhere. I love it. I think it's great. And the Vegas thing, you said it earlier, I am excited and eager, and I'm hoping in the next few months to get down to Vegas. I would love to go to their venue and watch this team play. I know they're not going to win a lot of games, but hey, they were 2-0 last I checked. So the way I look at it, hey, you never know, and it is exciting stuff. So good for the NHL. I think it's a great start to the year, and I'm excited to see it going forward. Taking us into our favorite topic, I think it's the one that we always kind of eagerly await and talk about, is the NFL. And I don't know, I know sometimes I lead the talk, but I'm going to, you know what, as a gentleman, as a guy that loves you and wants to see you be happy, what did you think of this week in the NFL?
Oh my God, man. Can we just start with America's game of the week?
Can we?
Can we?
That's kind of where I was going with this.
Can we bypass?
Move a couple of games over to the side.
Okay, first of all, to the entire NFL that's not a Dallas Cowboys fan, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're absolutely welcome.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
But all jokes aside, going into that game, we said it last week. We both thought that the Packers would win. Mm-hmm. We thought that it would be close. And the over did hit.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I said, even if it's 55 points, take it. It happens all the time with these teams. Look, the Dallas Cowboys had an opportunity to win this game. Okay, they were never really, they weren't out of it. As a matter of fact, they could have and should have closed it out early enough. And it's not even, I'll get into the last minute of the game, but they were up, by almost 3 possessions in the first half. And I was watching with my brother-in-law, and he's a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I said, you know what? I just have a feeling one team is just going to shoot out to a lead, and then, the game will get closer as we go. But they had an opportunity to close. Dallas has got some big problems on defense. And they just couldn't contain, anything that was going on. The other problem is, I hate when teams do this. Dallas got the possession. Okay, so Prescott throws a pick six, which to me, I don't really think was his fault because the receiver should have caught that. Okay? Yeah. The receiver has to catch that at that distance.
All right.
So I'm not giving Prescott any shit for that. So the pick six happens. They get the ball back at the 9-minute mark. And I hate when teams do this. They decide they're down 28-24. They decide to run the clock to score some points and take the lead. Great. Fine. But you can't do that with a minute left in the game when Aaron Rodgers is on the other side of the field and he just eliminated you in the playoffs, on the exact same pretenses. Is anybody surprised that Rodgers, got the win in the Packers with a minute 13 left?
I'll say who's not surprised. Social media wasn't surprised. Going to Instagram and watching some of the NFL memes and all these things that were coming out, it is so comical. So to answer that question, no, I don't think so. I will say this, though. Yes, I'm a huge Packer fan, but what I'm bigger than that is I'm a big NFL fan. I think the NFL has a great product that when it's played well, it's a great game to watch. It's a strategic game. It's like a game of chess a little bit. Time management's a big thing.
Yeah.
And watching that game, I know this is going to be blasphemy, but even if Dallas had won that game, I would have been very happy because it was an excellent game.
I will agree with you on that.
The fact that Green Bay won that game, of course, makes it even better. And the way they do it every single time to the Cowboys makes it so much more enjoyable, especially with the amount of friends that we have that are Cowboy fans. But my thing is, I laugh a little bit because I'm like, how many times do the Cowboys have to get kicked in the face to know that, exactly to your point about time management? What do you got? You guys have Elliott, who had a great game. Dak, who is, in my opinion, showing every week why he replaced Romo. The guy is such a good quarterback. I would love to have him in Green Bay. I would love him to back up Aaron Rodgers, to know that this guy's going to be my future in the next 10 years at least, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
The one thing I had about that game, I did have a problem with that game. I respect the fact that it's on Fox. They got a big lead. They have a big broadcast, everything. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are driving me bananas. Now, follow me on this. I'm watching Troy Aikman listen, and I can tell he's trying his hardest to be biased. I can tell. And as well, I can see why it would be hard on him. Got paid big money. He was drafted first overall by the Cowboys. He was paid by the Cowboys. He's won championships with the Cowboys. He probably lives in Dallas. He's probably got tons of families and friends. Makes all the sense. His wife's probably from there. Who knows?
Sure.
What's Joe Buck's problem? That dude literally hates every team but the Cowboys. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say, hey NFL, I'm trying to be biased / I love the Dallas Cowboys. I love Jerry Jones. I am literally going to kiss his ass every single time that they come here or we come here. I will get down and kiss him everywhere he wants me to kiss him.
Is that what the Bucks doing?
Dude, it drove me bananas. If I wanted to listen to Dallas play-by-play, then I'll tune into Dallas. We're in a media world now. I want to pull up Dallas play-by-play. I can do it. The one thing he does, he loves Aaron Rodgers, but only Aaron Rodgers. I think there was a time in that commentary.
But who can't love Aaron Rodgers?
I agree, but there was one time in that commentary where I think he said, Aaron Rodgers back, throws the pass, some guy caught it, touchdown the other team. I swear to you, he didn't ever say Green Bay. He didn't even want to acknowledge the other players. He hates everybody, and I think he actually hates Green Bay. I truly, truly think he hates Green Bay.
I wouldn't doubt it that he's, that he's a Cowboys fan, right? But he's making it apparent, hey, Mitch?
It's bothering me.
If you saw Joe Buck right now, he comes walking right through these doors.
Yeah.
He wants to see, he's like, what's happening over here? What do you do to him?
I'll tell you right now.
What's your first move?
Dude, first off, not like you, where Romo would beat you senseless and make you cry. And you're a 40-year-old man or 35 or whatever you are.
You're just making up ages now.
I know I can take Joe Buck. I know I can take him down. That's an easy takedown. The guy's only been behind the mic for years. Dare I say, do we have to call out both of these guys and make it a tag team match?
Look, I'm almost ready to move on from Tony Romo if he doesn't start answering the call. But I got to go back here. There's no way you beat up Joe Buck.
What?
No, Mitch.
I know. Wait a minute. I know where this is going.
Where is this going?
Because for weeks I've been saying you could never take on Tony Romo, which you can't, and it makes sense.
No way.
The guy's 6'3". The guy's a machine. He'll beat you senseless. Joe Buck's got to be my height, and guaranteed I weigh a couple pounds more.
Joe Buck is not your height, Mitch. He's not your height. You're like 5'2". Like, you can only ride 3/4 of the Stampede rides.
That's, you know what? They changed the rides lately. A. B, I'm 5'8" easily.
You
all
are
day,
not
I'm 5'8". What?
No way.
I'm not 5'8".
Well, then my depth perception of what 2.5 inches looks like I swear you're
just
5'6".
look down. Just look down, and you'll know what 2.5 inches is. Don't worry about it. What?
I want you measured. I want, you know what?
Measure it. You know it on the podcast. Yeah,
I'll do it.
Yeah, on the Instagram. Yeah, write that down.
I'm going to measure your height because I don't fucking believe you at all. 5'8".
5'8 and a half, maybe.
With your pimp lips?
What are you talking?
Are you wearing those shoes from last week?
No, I'm not allowed to wear them anymore. Apparently, they're too noticeable.
Measure Mitch's height. I am writing this down.
Buddy, it's 5'8 and a half. Easily, dare I say, I'm skimming 5'10".
See, the problem is you forgot you have a girlfriend right now. You don't need to use these lying lines anymore.
Hey, man.
You don't got to use them.
Anyways,
Joe Buck's going to kill you. He's got reach on you. He's got experience. He'll have a way better training camp than you.
Oh, my God. I can't believe this happened.
But I will say this. Probably you would... People would assume that you'd have an easier time with Joe Buck than me and Romo because Romo's an athlete.
Do you know what I'm seeing here? Is that we truly hate each other. That we want to see the other get hurt by another human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm realistic in mind. Tony Romo will beat you.
So hold on a sec. Let's work together. Joe Buck loves the Cowboys.
Right.
Tony Romo played for?
Cowboys.
I think I'm seeing the pattern.
You see what I'm saying?
You know what?
Let's tag team.
I think a tag team match. Absolutely.
You get those two yahoos coming over, and it's lights out. And then I'll team up with you.
I'll team up with you on this. Yeah, absolutely. It's like when like two, a good guy and a bad guy that they got the common enemy, right? And they have to join forces.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to, and then later me and you will have a match. Right, because then we win, and then we gotta figure out the who's
somebody's
who.
got to turn the heel.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you could ever be the heel. I don't see it.
You just bring your shoes. You're the heel. There's enough heel for you to be that.
We digress. We'll get into what people probably tune into and hear.
Yeah.
NFL picks. What happened last week? Everyone's asking. What happened?
Yeah, and I want to clarify something because I was leading 2-1.
Yeah.
But there are 4 weeks in the NFL.
That's
so
correct.
Just educate the viewers. We did not do week 1. That's why the numbers are
That's
off.
correct. That's correct.
So
to reiterate what happened last week, if you go back to the past podcast, you and I came to a and it's very often, it doesn't happen, conclusion that the Monday night game was such a debacle of two teams that we hate, the Vikings and the Bears, that we said, forget it.
Yeah.
We're not doing it. But what we didn't do is look at how many games were actually being played. There was 13 with the Monday nighter. We took it off. We actually allowed ourselves an opportunity to have a tie. I didn't really think it was going to happen because I looked at my picks and I'm like, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to kill him. Ladies and gentlemen, Dimitri and Mitch had a tie. 6 versus 6.
Unbelievable.
Tied game. So we are now 2-1-1 going into.
Did you pick the Steelers like I did
yep.
last week?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know, man. Buddy, what is thank you for that. Actually, that's a great segue into what I wanted to bring up and I almost forgot. Are you seeing a little bit of a change in the NFL ranks? Like I am starting to see, like I know it was Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's been putting up some big wins lately. And no one saw that coming. The Jets are winning. No one saw that coming. The Patriots are hurting. No one really saw that coming, but it's making sense why.
Well, the points that they're allowing, no one saw
exactly.
coming, right?
But what I'm seeing is I'm starting to see a little bit of a little bit change in the guards. The Pittsburghs are not your guaranteed win anymore against a Jacksonville. The Jets are winning games. We can go on, and the Carolina Panthers still seem to be beating people.
Yeah, that's the thing too. If you think like Carolina's 4-1,
mm-hmm.
It's like
and without anybody. Like last year they did it, and they're doing it again this year. No one gives those guys respect, but we're starting to see it.
Are we just clinging on to the teams that we've always known to? Like
yep, we are.
People are talking about how Roethlisberger is old, and even him. And to me, yeah, are we just stuck a little bit on the past? Like, oh my God, yeah, Roethlisberger is getting old.
Well, you know what's
Eli Manning is getting old.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I do, being a degenerate gambler that I am. The one thing I use in my parameters, I look at win, I look at loss. I love to see trends. I like to see like because some teams just have other teams' numbers, right?
Right.
But the one
It's
thing
true.
I have noticed is I use turnover ratios all the time.
Okay.
So Jacksonville, especially after this weekend, is number 1 in the league in turnover. They were 2 last week, and I'm pretty sure after
but
5 interceptions, they're number 1.
Isn't Coughlin coaching them, who used to be the New York Giants
That's correct.
coach,
Yep,
right?
that's
So,
right.
so you got to, I guess what maybe we
No,
overlooked.
Coughlin's not coaching them anymore. He was coaching them back in the day.
Oh, okay. Because I thought maybe because their defense improved.
But what the reason I bring it up is what I'm seeing right now is that the turnover ratio is something that I look at. And when you look at if you just look at that ratio at all, if you look at Jacksonville versus Pittsburgh last week,
Right.
everybody, and I'm pretty sure everyone and their dog took Pittsburgh. Okay? Makes sense.
Especially at
because
home.
we all, Pittsburgh, champion city, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if you look at that ratio of where they were in turnovers, it's beyond evident that Jacksonville should have won that game. And no one gives them any praise, but that turnover ratio plays huge because all of a sudden you can get points off a turnover or your team's getting the ball again to score some points, right? I use it a lot. It seems to help, I'll be honest with you. But at the end of the day, what I'm starting to notice is that teams like Jacksonville, teams like the Jets, teams like, dare I say, even like a Miami, as boring as they are, they're kind of exciting off field, but we'll get to that in a second. But the reality is that there's a change in the guard, and we have to start respecting it. I like what you said. We're carrying too much of the old weight around, and we're expecting those guys to win. Where if the NHL is going to teach the NFL anything, it's the new guys are coming in, and they're ready to take on that leadership role of that.
Yeah.
Now, going into the Dolphins, because I think they're doing a great job of saying, hey, we're boring on the field, but boy, are we exciting off the field.
Absolutely. And okay, so for those who don't know, the offensive line coordinator for the Miami Dolphins was shown on YouTube. There was a video posted of him snorting lines of coke before the meetings, right? And apparently he's been doing this for a long time. Now, I was one of the few sympathizers. I actually really feel sorry for this guy.
In what capacity exactly?
Well, if Jay Cutler was your quarterback and you had to figure out an whole line for that guy, would you not want to be just strung right out of your rocker before every meeting? Like, you got to go in front of the defensive coordinator, the quarterback, like everyone, and you got to defend Jay Cutler's on your side of the ball.
That you got a good point.
We should be lucky he's only doing 3 lines. This is a cry for help.
I'm totally with you, but I'm also on this other side of it. I know that the offensive line coach is a little bit older, like he's in probably his 50s, closer to his 60s, and maybe social media isn't his big thing. Like he doesn't know maybe sometimes who he's sending messages to and all that. But in this day and age, how many times do you have to watch people get caught doing this to themselves to say, maybe I shouldn't record myself doing cocaine?
Like he propped up his
how many
cell
times
phone.
do you need to see it? Like, and the next question is, why are you recording yourself doing cocaine? I don't seem to understand.
That is so awkward. It's beyond awkward. It's like years ago when what was it? It was eBay. When eBay first came on, there was a guy who decided to sell crack on eBay, but he didn't blur out his face. So as soon as he posted it on, he got arrested and charged. Like, they knew the address, right? He pointed them to the crack.
Did he look like the offensive line guy?
Oh no, no. He looked offensive.
He looked offensive?
yeah. That's
hilarious.
Speaking of him, did you notice the 2 colors? Like, was he wearing a wig or something? He's got like gray on the beard, and then and then he's got dyed brown hair on the top. It was just awkward.
Man, I would have loved, like, you're saying he did this before meetings. I would love to see him how he acted during the meeting. Like, what was that like?
That's what they need to do.
Who didn't record that meeting? Somebody recorded that meeting. Guaranteed they recorded that.
How did he not know? And did he not? Okay, so he's doing that. Did he not have a buddy doing it with him? Like, do you think another guy was also doing it with him?
Do you think that maybe somebody was recording him? Like, he's like, hey, buddy.
No, you can clearly see he's got the camera up there. You can see
right.
it. But I'm saying, like, does he got a couple buddies that, that's like their meeting thing, but he got caught?
Maybe.
He definitely chose to get caught.
You said it the best. He's definitely, there's no doubt in my mind he's doing cocaine because Jay Cutler's his quarterback. And I totally get it. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world.
I'm telling you, this is a cry for help.
The next thing I'll say, and I asked you, you told me about it first, then I found the video and I watched it and I thought was hilarious. But I asked you, I go, did he get fired right away? You're like, no, they let him go. He had a time. What did you say?
They let him resign.
They let him resign.
Let him respectfully resign.
How amazing is it to work for the Dolphins? You get caught doing cocaine. You did it to yourself. And instead of getting fired, get no severance, anything, they're like, you know what? Can you just maybe quit? Would you mind quitting? Would you mind quitting? That was probably the conversation.
We don't want this to look bad on the organization.
Hey, coach. Hey, coach. It's me. Can I come in and talk to you for a sec? Listen, we just saw that video. I know I should fire you. We should, but I'm thinking I get it. Cutler is stressing you out. Quit. Let's just put this all behind us. Just quit right now, or just take a leave, something, and just go. How, like, do you think he was at that moment when he's like, he's packing his stuff guaranteed. And he's like, oh my God, I'm done. And they come in and they tell him, they're like, can you quit and not leave? I guarantee you he's like, am I still this high?
Well, I don't understand. Why didn't he give Cutler the Coke during game time?
Oh, how mad is Cutler that he had Coke and he didn't share?
Cutler's like, you're telling me I could throw the ball another 5 yards? Right? I mean, guys, do I not have a point? Give Cutler the Coke.
That's rude, and I'm not, I've never really done that stuff, but I heard if you have some, you're supposed to share it. That's what I've heard.
Have you ever, did you watch The Sopranos?
Zach, is that true?
yeah. Guys, do we perform better under Coke?
Zach, is it true you're supposed to share it? That's what I thought. That's a good answer. Good answer. You don't know who's listening. Which cop's listening?
That's like that episode of The Sopranos. You watch Sopranos, right?
Of course.
Who doesn't?
Who hasn't?
Let us know who doesn't watch Sopranos so we can make fun of you.
Yeah.
But do you remember that episode when Adriana and Christopher, they wanted to, they had that band that Adriana was working with, and the guy was sobered up and went clean, but then his music sounded like shit.
Oh, yeah, I totally remember. Yeah.
And then Christopher walks in and goes, take the fucking smack, right? And he's like, whatever, man, I'm straight edge, I'm clean. He's like, I'm paying $300 for studio time an hour. Take the Coke and get in there and record the fucking song.
$300 for studio time.
Don't mention that. Don't repeat it. I thought maybe they visited. They may raise the prices over here. Relax, Mitch. Relax.
Thank you, Alchemy, again.
Thank you.
All right, it's that time of the segment where we are doing what everyone wishes that we would stop doing, and that's NFL picks.
Okay.
So the game again, 2-1-1. 2 wins for you, 1 win for me, 1 tie. We are headed into week number 6.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thursday night game has the Philadelphia Eagles against Carolina. Now, before you say anything, do you realize how many games? I actually should have beat you this week if I actually followed like proper protocol.
You can, but you cannot go back on your word.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you.
So, I am going to take, Philadelphia Eagles.
At Carolina.
It is a tough game.
It is.
They're rolling, but I'll tell you what, I am going to take Carolina.
Dimitri and Mitch. Carolina. There it is. We all know, and we don't need to repeat it. Gus, I hate you. Okay, Cleveland at Houston. No J.J. Watt. Sad.
Yeah,
Sad.
I mean, does it matter against Cleveland? I'm going to take Houston. I like Deshaun Watson. Man, I liked what was happening over there. Him and Hopkins were just connecting.
He is exciting to watch. A lot of people are kicking themselves for not taking them. This is where we're going to go a little different. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to go with Cleveland because I think that loss.
Well, we established this because you're an idiot.
Right. But I'm also going to tell you why really quickly. I do think that the loss of J.J. Watt is it's not so much the defense. That guy's the heart of the team. And I think that loss, and he's really hurt about it. He's been hurt a lot in the last couple of years.
Yes, he has.
So I'm going to take Cleveland as my 5-star upset of the week. Yeah, I just started that.
How long? Yeah. How many days have you been practicing?
Like, honestly, in the car right before you came? 3 times.
Because I'll tell you, because your pitch was really nice. Because you're like, 5-star. Like, it sounded very well done.
Pick of the week. Miami at Atlanta.
Hold on a sec. Is there cocaine present in the dressing room for this week? Do we know this?
Well, we know that
is the O-line coach, former O-line coach, coming back to clean out his locker, or is it already cleaned out?
Oh, I'm pretty sure the team jumped on that already.
I'm taking Atlanta then.
Atlanta. I will also join you with that just because Miami is just... I know they won last week. I got to give them respect. Win is a win, but man.
Ugh.
Green Bay at Minnesota.
This is just a let's just Green Bay. We know it's
It's going to be a close game though. I'm telling you right now, mark my words. That was such a big win for Green Bay. They're going to be on a high. Everyone's expecting them to just roll on Minnesota. Minnesota's tough at home, but we're gonna tie on this one and say Green Bay. Chicago at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Really? I liked what Chicago did yesterday. I gotta admit, I think.
Did you see the trick? Did you see the trick
that
play?
Was cool, man.
You got to do it when this touch.
So that kid on Chicago, real quick, he's only played 12 games in the NCAA, and now is the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. This kid's still trying to learn, and I think that's why they have to incorporate these little plays, like to trick everyone.
Well, it works against the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
because it's like I said, it's like two like junior teams playing together.
It's too bad neither one. Like, how many times was I hoping that all of them like just smashed into each other and all passed out?
They should just play rugby.
They should.
Might as well.
Tennis.
I actually don't think they have the athleticism for tennis, believe it or not. I really, really do. Right, guys?
49ers at Washington.
I got a Washington.
Yeah,
Washington's got to keep up with that division, right?
Well, no one. Yeah, we'll get to that in a few seconds here. But wow, what happened there? New England at the New York Jets. Jets. Jets.
Ooh, you know what? I've seen this before. It's like when you walk into a casino and the lights are flashing, like get 100 free spins, and you think you have a chance. That's how I feel with the Jets. So I'm taking the Patriots.
You're taking the Patriots.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Guess who's taking the 100 free spins?
Mitch, are you taking it? Oh my goodness,
buddy! You know what? I'm telling you that a win is a win, and the New England Patriots, with all due respect, lost that game on Thursday. They lost 4 missed field goals. That's a loss. And you know what? At the end of the day, a win. They won fair and square. Yeah. But the Jets right now at home, they're feeling good. And you know what? They feel like they have a chance. Are you telling me there's still a chance?
What was all that 1 in a million talk? Hashtag Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Detroit at New Orleans.
Detroit at New Orleans. I am going to go against the curve here. I'm going to take New Orleans. I'm going to take the Saints at home.
Oh, I like Detroit.
I know you like Detroit.
I like them.
I kind of made my pick knowing that I know you. I like them too, but I need some separation here.
Yeah, fair enough. LA Rams at Jacksonville. Our 2 favorite teams. We actually, weirdly enough, I was looking back at our last few games.
Yeah.
You've been jumping on the Rams lately. I haven't jumped on Jacksonville, but they've got my attention now.
They definitely got my attention. They're doing a lot better than I thought they would do this year. Okay, Rams at Jacksonville.
So basically, offense versus defense.
Yeah, that's kind of what it comes down to. I'm going to take Jacksonville because it seems like the Rams, if Gurley's not playing very, very well, they have a hard time scoring, is what I'm trying to say.
Fair enough. So you want Jacksonville. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going with Did we
offense. Just do a switch?
Yeah, we flipped.
We just did a switch.
We flipped. I love Jacksonville. I love what they're doing. And this is a game where I don't mind if I lose this one in a weird way. But okay. Tampa Bay at Arizona. Now, big news today. I don't know if you heard it. Adrian Peterson has been traded in that one trade every 10 years in the NFL from the New Orleans Saints to the Arizona Cardinals. So I don't know if he'll be playing this weekend, but Tampa Bay at Arizona.
That makes my Andre Ellington pickup in fantasy football look pretty bad now. Now I'm in need of running backs in my fantasy leagues. Please start giving me the trade bait. Okay, I don't really know if that's going to be an overall big difference maker for this week coming. So
do you want to pick somebody or?
I'm going to take Arizona.
Well, you know what? We are definitely on the other side. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I liked what I saw out of them last
Did you like what I did there, though? At the very end, I'm like, I'm not taking Arizona. I don't think it's going to affect it. Arizona. Yeah.
The now 1-5? Yeah, 1-4. Sorry. LA Chargers at Oakland. Oakland is
struggling.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, and don't do commercials in your sophomore year.
Don't do it.
Okay, stay away from the limelight, Derek Carr. Yep. Don't be on a car.
Don't be that. Don't be your brother.
Don't be your brother.
Yep.
Don't do it. I think this is a good opportunity for the Raiders. I'm going to stick with them. I usually pick them every week. I like them to win.
I, believe it or not, am going to stick with you on this one.
Okay.
Pittsburgh at KC.
Oh my God. This is, you know what, on a betting perspective, probably Pittsburgh right now is showing some really, really good odds. Pittsburgh at KC, it's so hard. I'm going to pick KC. I'm going to pick KC at home, but what's really hard for me is because I always want to believe the Steelers. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, there's, Martavius Bryant. How are they not putting it together?
I'm actually going to do exactly what you just said. I am going to take Pittsburgh because you know what? They are talented enough. KC.
I want to change my pick now.
No, too bad. Nope.
What, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Once you pick, it's done.
Can't go back.
Why do you think I actually get you to go first?
Even before we go. I know why you do it. And I'm still beating you. That's how bad you suck. You have options. Actually, it could work against you.
I like KC at home. I do. KC at home is a strong team. But Pittsburgh, you know what? They should win their division handily, but they still have to win a few games.
Excellent.
New York Giants versus Denver at Denver. I literally...
Can we just both pick Denver and move on?
Yeah,
you're not taking...
No, you're totally... How bad you lose all three of your seeing?
Everything.
Unreal.
That is the worst divorce I've ever seen anyone go through. That is terrible.
Horrible.
The car's gone. The house is gone. The socks are gone.
And by the way, hey, NFL, this is the time you use your flex play because this is the Sunday nighter. This is where you call up on Green Bay, Minnesota, or you call up on... New England and the New York Jets and say, hey, switch it around with us because this was supposed to look good. This is not looking good.
What did they do?
I think they're allowed to do it up until tomorrow. They can tell them if they're going to switch. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. And the Monday Nighter, another just barn burner classic. Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Ooh, wow. Hot markets.
Yeah.
This is... Can we scrap this one again? Like, are we going to get to a point where the Monday night? No, we can't do that because, do the math. How many games we have?
There is 13 right now. No, our fans are. You know what? We did it last week as a joke.
Yeah.
This week we have to give our fans.
Indianapolis at
Tennessee.
I don't think Mariota's back, is he?
No, he wasn't. And they picked up Whedon, and Castle's got rocked. You see that one hit?
Oh my God, jeez. So what you're saying is it gets worse and worse and worse. And then there's the Colts, man. You know what? I'm going to take the Colts.
You're going to take the Colts? Yeah, same with me.
I actually got heartburn saying that.
You know what? I look forward to it. This is going to be, we have a lot of disparity this week, so let's see what happens. That's going to be fun. It'll be an exciting week.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to separate the men from the boys this week.
Or the Mitch from the Dimitris.
Or... Yes. I like that. That's good. So the one thing we want to do just to be a little bit different than the other podcasts out there is we want to talk local stuff, but we also want to talk international. Now that we know we have fans all around the world, Italy, Canada, Cyprus, we said, hey, we're not stopping there.
We have an obligation to our now known fan base because we are officially a global phenomenon.
Global.
To report on global sports news.
Absolutely.
You know, we can't just be selfish and talk about local things. I know we're here at Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but there's some real things going on. And I'm really glad that, had it not been for our viewership, call it, in Italy and in Cyprus and in different places, we can't bring certain things to attention. For example, I don't know if people know this or not, but the BWF International U19 Badminton Championships are currently underway.
And if you didn't know, you know.
Explicit. Now, it started on October 9th. And it goes until October 21st. Okay, now for all of you that do, you can follow it on Facebook.com/BWF Badminton. Okay, they also have BWFBadminton.com. You can get the results there as well. Okay, so it's actually a mixed tournament. So both men and women. U19, that means it's under 19, and it's being held in Yogyakarta, Indonesia.
Beautiful country.
Yeah, absolutely. Great coast. Now, as I got to learning a bit more what's happening, there's a bit of a rivalry going on, in this world. And like I said, when you start reading, you realize how this sport is arguably bigger than us right now.
Right.
What's happening. So
I think there's a lot of things bigger than us right now. But.
So, the biggest takeaway here is two rivals, okay? They have faced each other countless of times, okay? In the Worlds, in the Olympics, like things are, heating up between them. And they're the talk of the tournament, and it's Indonesia's Marcus Fernaldi, Gideon, and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamulyo. Okay. They are known as the minions to their fan base around the world, and they will be looking to meet, which most pundits...
Oh, these guys are a tag team together.
They're a tag team. They're a group, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And most pundits right now are speculating that they could even meet in the final against Denmark's Mathias Bowie and Karsten Mogensen. And their styles could not be any more different, okay? They are... it is David versus Goliath. It is the offense versus the defense. It is, they are headed on a collision course of badminton U19 greatness. And I want to say thank you to all the fans around the world, but we will be reporting on much more things like this.
I love that. And you know what? Let me take this somewhere. Follow me on this for a second. How's our sponsorship numbers? Like, how many people... I mean, I'm guessing if our numbers for our Matrix have gone up substantially, how much money have we made so far?
So, that's a good point. And like I said, we want to be real. We want to talk about real stuff. And we talk about
round the number as much as possible.
Well, we talk about a lot of positives, Mitch, but the fact of the matter is that the sponsorship dollars are at zero.
So we have $0.
We have been unable to get anyone behind us to sponsor the show, which it's really hurting us, right?
Okay. All right. So we're at 0. We've been doing this for a couple of weeks.
Self-funded, by the way.
Self-funded. Yeah. So now I'm going to take it one step further. This is the degenerate part of me coming into this. We both love sports. We both know how to bet online. Do we maybe just take a little initiative and say, hey, let's bet on this game? Let's call my bookie or go online right now. Let's find out what the odds are. Let's make our own money. Since the people don't want to give us their money, and I understand it's recession time, and things are tough.
Sure.
Maybe we have to take this ourselves, Dimitri.
Well, we have to look forward to next week's studio time, and we have to find a way to pay for it.
That's right.
Because we are tapped out.
Yeah, we are. Okay. We're getting there.
And maybe not totally tapped out. I mean,
asking me to buy you coffees before is cutting into.
First of all, I didn't want to bring it up, but now I am going to bring it up. Okay, you bought me a $2 coffee.
Doesn't matter.
First of all, you stopped.
Doesn't matter.
You stopped and got me a Tim Hortons while you walk in the studio with a Starbucks.
First off, I was downtown working,
and you couldn't think of me then?
There wasn't a Tim Hortons there.
Don't put this on me, Mitch. Oh, I bought you a coffee. You cheap fuck. You got yourself a Starbucks. I got $1.
How about this, you ungrateful motherfucker? How about a simple thank you? How's that?
I did say thank you on the phone until I saw this useless move that you just did right here.
Anyway, we can cut that last part.
Yeah, it was a little aggressive.
I got a little
Mitch.
mad. You see the bad side of me. I get really, when I want to bet on something and you're cutting into my action right now, I get aggressive. I totally apologize.
That's awesome. So if Mitch offers to buy you coffee, just so you know, you're not getting a Premier Starbucks. You're getting like Seattle's blend from Max.
People love Tim Hortons. People love it. In fact, I gave you the better of the two, technically. Tim Hortons in Alberta is way better.
Time out on the question: Tim Hortons or McDonald's coffee? What do you like better?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really like McDonald's coffee.
I think it is pound for pound the best coffee around. It's a premium roast,
fantastic. Mitch. Give me the lines. Give me the lines. I'm gonna give you.
So a lot of people may not realize that Mitch isn't the only degenerate here, and I am as well. And I knew that we were going to come to this, so I've already pulled up the lines. What's happening right now is on the topic of badminton, because I figure, Mitch, we watch sports. Mm-hmm. We watch the hockey, football, all the conventional ones. We got to go in blind.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually brought up some odds here. So there is the Dutch Women's Open, okay? And I'll just go with the top one because we got some good odds. And Gailey Mahalute is facing off today against Leanne Tan. And Gailey Mahalute is a plus 120.
All right.
Okay, so the other girl's favored, but I think we should take her because at plus 120, if we put $50 down, we can make some decent money. At least make that return.
$50.
Well, I just wanted to start small. They already know we're degenerates, but I figured
put in 1,000. We need a little bit of a base. Put a $1,000 bet in.
Okay.
And let's take it. So we're taking, what's her name? Gailey?
Yeah, we're taking
Gailey plus
Mahalute.
120 at $1,000.
Yeah, the Dutch Women's Badminton Open. Gailey Mahalute.
Done.
Okay.
When's
awesome.
When's this game being played? Because I am going. They're playing right now.
Well, in the next one tomorrow, I believe.
Tonight.
I think tonight our
tonight
time.
Or the next.
Exactly.
So it's really in 2 minutes they're playing.
Like as soon as we are finished this, we got to go back.
We gotta go back.
Yeah. Until then, or all of you listening, you can help us out. We would really appreciate it. All the money will go into podcasts and production and just helping us grow the wonderful word. We don't want to go door to door and tell you that the world is coming to a halt and you need to support us. But to follow us on our channels at Real Locker Room Talk on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. And please, 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 to download our podcast, you can follow us at reallockerroomtalk.podbean.com.
Awesome. That's podcast number 4, everyone. Thanks for listening. I'm really sorry about the comment I made earlier. I feel horrible.
Yeah, fuck you.
Time.
Until then, we're going to hit the showers.
Awesome. See you, buddy.